And on today's show, we have Magnus. But first, we want to talk about Inferno Festival having a little warm-up session with Vorbid and Tantrum. These are great bands, by the way. They're thrash metal bands. Will be I have a little bit of a clip it coming right at you. Just a little teaser. There we go. That's Vorbid. If you want to see them, they're at Hard Rock Cafe. And then here's a little teaser of Tantra. They're also going to be playing at Hard Rock Cafe. All the details are on the Inferno Festival site. Very interesting.
Excuse me, isn't the trailers supposed to have sound?
Yeah, they're supposed to have sound, but that's just not happening today. There we go. This is Tantra. Well,
no,
it did.
I can't hear it.
Apparently, we're having interruptions. I have no idea why. But yeah, that's Tantra. If you want to find out all about them, I'll give you all the links below. Right, continuing on with the show, we have a special guest today. And his name is Magnus Emeritus Engen. But I'm going to show you a little clip of what this man can do. He's a ghost fan.
Can't hear no sound, I think. I think there is a sound issue here.
I think there's a sound issue. All right, let me see. No, it can't be me. Here we go.
No, I can't hear a sound.
You can't?
Nope.
Hasn't done it.
Hmm?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right, so I'm going to play your video one more time. See if this works. Okay.
No sound. I think there's a technical issue. That will make it a problem for us to even make that show, because if you're gonna present the footage that I've taken of Papa Zero and all that stuff, we won't have any sound at all.
I think that maybe on your end it might not have sound, but it does continue playing. So I'm going to try and play your video one more time and then try and do an introduction. And if it doesn't work, then we will just say, you know, visit your page, which is exactly what I think that the audience should do, because we're live now. You know,
yes.
So we can't stop.
Yeah, I know, but if the sound is a problem, that should have been something we should have considered during our practice run.
Yes, and I thought that would be the case, but I think it's because we are live.
Okay.
And my computer can't handle it. So I'm going to take those away and that away, and then hopefully this will work.
Yes.
Technical issues.
I wonder if the audience is just logging off.
Yeah, they're probably logging off by now, you know. Well, anyway, we've done the introduction of yourself. Please visit Magnus Emeritus Engen's YouTube page. It's very important that we keep people talking about metal, because yeah, it's very important. Oh, now it's coming. Now it's decided to play. Yes.
No, I can't hear it though, but
all right. So moving swiftly along, I'm going to show my face now. Hello, Magnus.
Hello. How do you do?
And apologies for all the delays in our conversation. I would like to discuss with you today. You're a Ghost fan. This is very interesting for me. Could you tell me who your favorite Ghost lead singer is? Your favorite popper.
My favorite Papa? Well,
Yeah.
I do have my favorite Papa tattooed on my arm. So this is obviously Papa Emeritus 2. And I just think he's pretty badass. He looks like if a satanic pope really existed, he would look like this, because he's like the spitting image of Anton LaVey. Because when he walks around with the suit and no skull paint, he suddenly looks like this old man with a mustache. It totally looks like Anton LaVey, right? So Anton LaVey was like the closest thing we could get to a real life satanic pope, and clearly the persona of Papa Emeritus II and his physical appearance and all that, clearly influenced by Anton LaVey. I even have a poster of him on my wall, but it's by my piano and I can't quite film it. So definitely the coolest looking Papa and the coolest Papa persona per se. And he had this funny rockumentary series with only 2 episodes for 5 minutes called Propaganda. And I thought it was excellent. Yes.
Do you feel that Ghost are the most creative band out there at the moment, the mainstream creative band out there at the moment?
Yeah, like amongst the new ones, yes, because I'm clearly fascinated by Ghost because most of the music I listen to is old music, like 70s heavy metal and 60s like oldies and pop songs from that era, and rockabilly music, and yes, of course, the heavy metal of the 70s, like the Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd. And that stuff have clearly influenced Ghost. I can hear a lot of it in their sound. Like when I first heard Ghost, I kind of heard like some Kansas and some Blue Oyster Cult in there with the song Deus in Absentia, which really just fascinated me. My mind was blown. So I just thought this was the most awesome thing ever, because I rarely even like new music. A lot of new music, I feel it's I'm not really into that metalcore stuff, even though I kind of like Avenged Sevenfold and Five Finger Death Punch a bit, but I don't think they're nearly as awesome as Ghost. And another band of the new era that I actually like a lot is a Norwegian band, Kvelertak. I think they're pretty innovative and creative. They mix this kind of Nordic black metal sound with melodic heavy metal from the 70s. Like I can clearly hear some influence from Kiss in there and various bands from the 70s when I listen to the melodicness of Kvelertak and some 70s stoner metal as well. I kind of hear that, and I really like what they do. I really support them. And I saw them warm up for Ghost April this year.
Wow. The question: how many countries have you been to see Ghost?
Only 2.
I mean,
Norway and Sweden. Norway and Sweden.
Well, that's enough.
Yes.
What happened in Sweden? Because even though I can't show the video because of technical difficulties, what actually happened, and how did you feel?
Yeah, first of all,
it was such an intense moment.
First of all, I went to Stockholm, and what I thought was that finally the new ghouls have mastered how to play Ghost, because at the concert in April, I saw that they did a few mistakes and fuck-ups, and it was like Papa was almost praising them when they actually did something right. he was like standing there presenting the ghoul like really proudly. That was obviously a relatively new ghoul, even though it was a decent ritual. The ritual in April was pretty good because there were two kick-ass warm-up bands. The Great Discord, that actually is from Linköping, where Ghost is from, and they have a drummer called Axel, which is actually a former Nameless Ghoul. So that was a cool band with a female vocalist. I recommend them highly. And then Kvelertak came on stage, and Kvelertak is fucking amazing. So that evening was magical. And then Ghost came on, and well, it was a lot of fun. It's like Papa Dollars were raining over us during Mummy Dust and all that stuff. So
amazing.
But I heard some stuff that were a bit funny, like the keyboardist fucking up the guitar solo at Mummy Dust. It sounded really weird, and he stopped doing that for the last ritual. He finally nailed it. I was like, whoa! I think he must have practiced a lot to actually nail it down. I think that guitar solo, even though I do play piano myself to some extent, so yeah, maybe so. Maybe the guitar solo to Mummy Dust is kind of hard to play. It seems so. So it's kind of like you're playing the guitar like you're playing a guitar. So the ghouls really came into their own. They were much better. And Deus in Absentia came. I was shocked beyond belief. I had done recording with the phone and taking pictures because I'm like, I'm gonna just record like 2 or 3 songs, then I'm not gonna record anything more. I just want to enjoy the freaking concert. I just want to live in the moment. You can't live life through social media, right? So I just wanted to gather. I just wanted to gather a little stuff and then move on with my life. But then Deus in Absentia came on. I'm like, what? I have to record this. Just when the song started, I'm like, what the fuck? This is historic. They have never played that song live. And that has been my dream to see it live. So my heart was touched beyond belief. Oh my God, it was magical. And do you know what happened after that concert when I was going back to the hostel to sleep? I took a cab, right? And then it turned out the radio, Deus in Absentia, was playing on the radio.
Like it's meant to be.
It was a magical day. It was a magical day indeed. And traveled to... Yes.
Because this is an important thing. I mean...
Yes. And on the way to Gothenburg, the bus actually stopped in the city that all Ghost fans know so well, Linköping. Actually stopped in Linköping. I'm like, wow, I am in the Ghost's hometown, Ghost Town, where Tobias is from. And I'm just sitting here at the bus, just killing time, really. But I was taking a few pictures, but Linköping looks like a rather ordinary place, of course. But there were some odd things in Linköping to see as well. Like some strange road signs. Like at the front, they looked like normal road signs, but at the back they were like colored with different colors. It was really funny looking. And by the side of the road, I saw like two planes, like those planes where you drive and you have only one driver in the plane, and
I think they call them gliders.
Yeah, those kind of planes. Like there were some like being set up to the ground. There were like pillars beneath them, and I saw them by the side of the road. It was like interesting art, I would say. Other things that I saw in Linköping was the Cathedral of Linköping. I barely saw it because it depends on where the bus was driving, but I saw it in the distance. And that cathedral is being used in the cover art of Opus Eponymous, the first album, where you see Papa like this, and the Cathedral of Linköping in the front. So yeah, I did have an interesting day. And of course, the soundtrack of my years was Ghost and Magna Carta Cartel and Subvision, which are, well, Ghost-related bands, bands that Ghost musicians played in before Ghost. So, and when I got to my destination at Gothenburg, there was some demonstration going on, some Nazi trouble. So
Yeah,
I
this
even
is
thought that,
the question that I have for you is
yeah,
during that event, you had Papa 3 who
yes,
was obviously playing, and I'm going to show a little clip it without the sound because the sound isn't working at the moment. But
yeah,
you were there and you filmed that video, and then we're going to go back on to asking you questions about, you know, that Gothenburg moment. But I'm just going to show the audience your video. This is the most important thing. I mean, the feeling as a fan been like for you guys to have witnessed someone being dragged off stage as things were happening in the background. I feel that that's important for other people to hear, and you just explain that whilst we're watching the video.
yes.
I need the audience to see what's been going on, and let me just mute it so that we can only hear you or your experience.
Okay. Should I talk
Go
about what
ahead and do
happened
that.
at Gothenburg? When I,
Yes, go
yes,
ahead.
when I got there, it was like some Nazi demonstrations that made us think that the concert was being cancelled. But then it seemed like the thing had been sorted out, so we got the concert anyways. So we did get there. There were people there already waiting for several hours. And I've been there like 2 hours before the concert to even get that close to the stage. And you see that I probably have like 4 or 5 people in front of me. So there were some
Absolutely.
really crazy people there indeed. So yeah. And basically what happens here is that the Papa Emeritus is doing his typical female orgasm song known as the Monstrance Clock, right? And well, should I tell what happens before it actually happens?
No, because I'm sure in a couple of seconds' time it does happen. But yeah,
Yeah, I totally know what
coming
happens
up. Of
when
course
I
you know what happens, but
yeah,
there's
but I mean
some
when I
audience that
listen
don't understand. Yeah.
when I listen to it, I know exactly when it happens because it's like the sound of that moment is imprinted in my mind. It's like even when I listen to
Yeah.
Monsters Clock on my record player, I think that it's gonna happen. It's like I hear in my head when he becomes abducted.
It's really epic. That I mean,
Yes,
even you're at the front row, so that obviously feels as though it's happening. It's really happening, and then the shock moment happens. Let me see if I can fast forward it. No, I saw it. Okay, so it was around about here, I think, and
come
and
together, Lucifer's
and.
son.
And then all of a sudden, here we go. They take him off
There we
stage.
go, there we go, there we go.
Oh
People
my gosh.
I was screaming like crazy as well, and the sound was like fading out when they played the guitar. It was like "Come together," and then they were just stop to play, right? And
I mean, my heart would just be in my throat.
because of what happened earlier, people thought that the Nazis have maybe gotten there and became like a danger to the security of Papa and well everyone there. So people were screaming in fear actually because I had mixed feelings. I was like, what the fuck, Papa? I was even screaming. You can even hear it. I'm like, Papa. So yes, I thought that something bad might have happened that made the concert canceled. That the Nazis were
Yeah.
up to something bad. That they were a danger to Papa's security. But at the same time, I thought in the back of my head, I did this trip to Sweden because I knew it was the end of the Ghost tour. I knew that possibly something weird was gonna happen in the end because of Ghost's crazy theatrics. So in the back of my mind, it was there, right? So, well, can't we just play the next part?
That's just it. Yeah, we're gonna play the next part. See what happens. I mean, just describe what happened before you got to the event in Gothenburg, because everyone of Sweden doesn't understand that Sweden's been going through some real tricky, traumatic times. You know,
But I don't know.
with politically.
I don't know
I
the
don't
whole
think it
thing that
affects.
was going on with the Nazis demonstrants, but there were like people openly dem- demonstrating bigotry and hatred, and they seemed dangerous, and there were like some trouble with the police. There were lots of police cars near where the amusement park was because they were playing in the amusement park called Liseberg in Gothenburg. Oh, there comes Papa Zero. Uh,
Yes.
people
Now
have
this is the most
people have filmed
dramatic
better.
time.
Yeah, people have
Of course
filmed
they have,
better
but
footage of him because with my camera for some reason Papa Zero just looks freaking white. But while I was there, I saw every detail. The first thing I saw was his cane and his creepy looking old hand with long nails like freaking Nosferatu. I'm like, what the fuck
amazing.
is this? And I saw the Pope hat. Where the mitre looks beautiful. It had like a red stripe in the middle and a golden crucifix, like ghost logo, and it was very golden. His outfit was generally very gold themed,
He
and
looks like a pope, a ghost pope, actually. Just looking at the way that you filmed it, it looks
yeah,
like he is the ghost and you can't see the face, but now you can see the face all of a sudden and he still looks like a
yeah,
ghost. It's
and you
amazing.
see, and you see the shape of his garbs, and you see the redness, and he just
That's really impactful.
and
Yeah.
he's so eerie. He presents himself in Italian, and it is said that he says that I am Papa Emeritus Zero. Playtime is over. The Middle Ages have now begun. It's like he's being a
Oh
strict
wow.
Papa that puts Ghost back into place. He probably thinks that Papa Emeritus 3 have been too goofing off too much, been too
Yes.
cute, right? Because maybe it's even because of Pope Star, because Pope Star, well, even the pun fits. Pope Star is relatively pop compared to a lot of stuff that Ghost had done earlier, and well, uh, uh, even Meliora, I can't imagine a scary pope like Papa Zero singing "He Is," and a lot of fangirls really had a crush on Papa, and after Tobias revealed his identity, it's like, oh, Tobias is so dreamy. I'm like an admin of several ghost groups, and girls are objectifying Tobias slash Papa 3 all the time. Then comes this scary Papa and
Yes.
scares the shit out of everyone. But of course, as everyone knows now, Tobias is the main vocalist of Ghost. He had been all the Papas and the main songwriter as well, and he composes the music as well. He knows how to play several instruments, and he used to play guitar and bass in earlier bands. So
Yeah.
uh, but the image of Papa being cute and sexy is being a bit taken away now. But it depends. We don't know which Papa will be the next. If Papa Zero is the Papa of all Papas and is the one who controls Ghost behind the scenes, that he is like controlling all the Papas and not really singing or performing, or is he gonna be the next vocalist? If I imagine him to be a vocalist, I would think that Ghost would bring more of the scary element back.
Which is
It would be more like
exactly why I would like to discuss this with people, because Ghost has it's very dynamic. It has a dynamic sound. It's influenced by so many different genres from the 70s.
Yeah.
Also, you know, a little bit of black metal as well.
Yes.
Surprisingly enough, they have never played at Inferno Festival. And that's the thing. I mean, odd, because I just feel personally that they're a band that have become so mainstream with the old Tobias. I felt as though they just basically jumped into the mainstream and that was it. But you know, in terms of my feelings about the Grammys, I feel as though they've just jumped into this world and then shown that they are very dynamic.
Yes.
And shown that they have the capability of doing that, having different poppers.
Yeah.
That's made them interesting.
Yes, of course. I think the pop idea is really funny. It's like they're basically retiring a retired papa, because a papa emeritus means a papa who has abdicated as pope. And the main thing behind the character was that papa was supposed to be a pope that has died and come back from not heaven but hell, right?
Yes.
Because popes are usually so old that they die before they even get the chance to retire. Except for now, we actually do have a Papa Emeritus in the Vatican. Pope Benedict.
Yes.
He actually holds the title of Papa Emeritus.
Which makes it very interesting.
Yes. So
just to cover the fact that they have their own costumes and they have like their band leaders, I just wanted to show the audience, especially those who don't understand, that ghosts aren't actually allowed to show their faces. And Tobias actually broke the contract. How do you feel about that?
Well,
you know,
I just thought it would eventually happen at some point, because it has happened to like Daft Punk, Slipknot. I think people might even know the identity of Buckethead by now. It's not like very famous musicians can keep their identities hidden forever because they're such public people. So it's inevitable. But Ghost never performs without the masks. They always, when they are Ghost, they are Ghost, not the people behind the masks.
Yes. And so this was the unveiling of his face. And obviously, you know, how did you feel? Did you feel that he's gone too far mainstream and now he wanted to show his face, or is it that what was going on through your mind?
But the thing is that I have suspected his identity from very early on when I became a fan, because at first when I discovered Ghost, I saw this Papa 2 character in a music video of a song called Ritual, and I saw him with no face paint, like this bald old guy with a thin mustache, and I didn't see at first that it was a mask. So I thought, oh my God, he looks old. Is this really what Papa looks like? If he's that old, he must have been in many interesting musical projects in the past. So I looked him up on Wikipedia. You know all that I found there? There was no identity on Papa. It was just like Papa Emeritus. That's all I got to know, and that they had like 3 Papas, because I stumbled into Ghost already into the Papa 3 era, but it was early in the Papa 3 era. But anyway, I just like, whoa, Papa Emeritus? Who is this guy? Is like different guys for every album? Why do they sound so much alike? So but then I already saw, before he even stepped forward in the media, I saw a picture of him and a vocalist of Behemoth and Me and That Man, Adam Nergal Darski. He's an excellent Polish musician. I have seen Me and That Man at Tons of Rock this year, and they were amazing. I freaking love them, and they're equally as satanic as Ghost. It's kind of more of a like Nick Cave, Johnny Cash sound with a bit of like dancing in there. That has really influenced myself as a musician. That exact type of music. So, I have seen a backstage leak where he's hanging out with Tobias, and he has even captioned it, "If you have ghosts, ... So when it came to that, I just checked out other Ghost-related bands like Subvision, where he was the vocalist. I'm like, this sounds like Papa.
And so
exactly like Papa.
Yeah, you could spot him a mile away.
Yes.
I don't understand, because we're going to talk about the Grammys just a little bit.
Yes.
And I feel as though this is a very important thing to highlight to fans. I personally felt that better when they weren't so big. You know what I mean? But a lot of other people would disagree with that. That you know, it's good to be big and such. So when I play this video, I'm not going to show like mute it. But tell me why do you think that they chose Cerisa as the song for Ghost?
Because I've heard that Tobias's daughter thought it's her favorite song, basically. So they just picked it out to be a nominee song, that they made it so well known. And I think Cerise also has a great appeal with the public, because it is a mix of a beautiful sound. He sings beautifully. The melody and song is very emotional, but at the same time it has that hard rock doomy feel to it with the heavy guitars and
absolutely
very melodic sound. So I think that's what made Cerise so popular as well. It's a very emotionally powerful song. So I think that's why. And because of Tobias's daughter, he actually has twins, like one son and one daughter. That's rather unusual, but yes.
That is. And non-identical twins is such a rarity these days. But just to go over the fact that he had this status, and then when he went on stage, he said what he said, which I felt as though for him, he'd already planned to go, because he'd made this transition, and he'd said, "Oh, you know, I can no longer show my face and such." So this was his transition, and he said, "Thank you very much, and now I'm going to show my face." It's been so exhausting, you know.
Yes.
So if he said that, and he was receiving an award, and he was going to continue, perhaps he would have said something more positive, you know. But he didn't. He said he was going to go. So therefore, in my mind, I feel as though he'd already made up his mind, and he didn't want to be in Ghost anymore, and he wanted to reveal himself by the time he'd won the Grammy.
Yeah, but it seems like Ghost
Do
is
you
still
get that
going.
feeling? Yeah, of course, of course.
Yes, because they have a new album underway already. And I really enjoyed the interview because he shared so much interesting information about his life story with his brother, which was rather touching because his brother died like right before Ghost started, and he just talked about his life in general, his background, and how his brother has influenced his taste in music. That a lot of the culture from the 70s came from his brother because his brother was older. So youth culture and music from the 70s really influenced him, even though Tobias was like an 80s and 90s child because he was born in 81. So so that's basically his brother had inspired him a lot. And other things that he shared was like a fun fact about him being in an anonymous masked band, like way before Ghost. And his mask was not like a Papa mask, but he was wearing a fake mustache and sunglasses and this Lemmy like hat. He basically looked like Lemmy. And he played in a band that played something you call in Swedish könsrock. That means genital rock. So it's basically just humorous, perverted. Yeah. It's like humorous, perverted, politically incorrect music. They can like make fun of retards, homosexuals, necrophilia, coprophilia, pedophiles. Like it's so wrong in so many ways, and that makes it like into a like guilty pleasure, right? Because they are not homophobes, of course, because those songs does not really promote hate against them. It's just graphically perverted songs, and with funny rhymes and puns. Like one of my favorites is "Grave Party," which is a song about necrophilia. They have so much funny rhymes, and yeah, it's really funny. Really morbid humor. So
it's like NOFX. NOFX went through that morbid phase where they had to sing about, you know, someone injecting heroin into their bodies, and then the whole night was all like hysteria and all this kind of thing. Or mum and dad, you shouldn't have done that to me because I turned out like a retard, kind of thing. And they would sing about that, or like, one of the best bands at the moment is Dying Fetus. They sing about rotting insides of a nun and such. So
yeah, it makes me think of like Cannibal Corpse. Their lyrics are so their lyrics are so morbid that it makes them funny. But,
yeah, it's supposed to be satirical, you know, like laugh at it. You know, you're not meant to take that stuff seriously, you know. But I like that about the band, and it would be very interesting to see if Ghost could go back to their old ways. You know, where they had the it ritual, and they did, you know, years BC. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
And if they could go back to their own character. But one of the things that fascinates me the most about wearing this persona fits, as a fan, do you feel as though you would go and buy one of those Pope outfits? That's the last question I have, like a positive question.
I would love to dress up as Papa because it would totally help my character, right? And I would love to just go out to like karaoke and whatever and sing because I'm a singer and I have done a lot of like rock covers, and one of the things I love doing is to sing Ghost. Even
Yeah.
though I feel like my main talents lie within singing like Johnny Cash and Danzig and that type of stuff, but I still sing Ghost a lot as well. So putting that outfit on and singing, and maybe I get together like a new band and we would cover Ghost because I used to be in a band before. So that would be really funny if I did it in like a pop outfit. So yes.
You've got your minute of fame. Go ahead and give us a song, because I heard you sing earlier, and I feel as though it's a nice end to the show. Go ahead.
Okay. Could probably do Zenith because I think it's beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, give me a second. We conquered the magic. We counted the stars, deciphered the clockwork, enacted this farce. Devoured by shadows, we cling to the light. Deluded by wisdom, the bringer of night. Now and for always, a perpetual rise, a fall of illusion, your zenith fades into eternity. Time will soon be gone. Night will turn to dawn. Winds come on strong, so help you God, come unleashed, you're set free.
All right.
Thank you. Thank
you very much for coming on the show. I hope that we can do a special when Ghost album, and we can talk about that, and you can come back on the show. Thank you very much to the audience for listening. Yes.
I will add something here because
something.
Yes, I have a bonus feature for this. You know, the next album is coming up in April, and I'm planning something. I'm planning to have a little ritual at home. Maybe we could film it, but I don't know. I think it's a bit of a private moment because it's so magical and important for me. Because I'm gonna light.
What it's like to be a big fan.
I'm gonna light black candles. I'm host Ouija board, which I'm actually getting for Christmas. Up there with the candles, I will light incense. I will have Papastrello wine. It's like Ghost's official red wine ready. Maybe get some communion wafers, and the room should only be lit up by black candles. And I feel that smell of incense. And then I buy the new album. I won't even listen to it on the internet before. I will disconnect everything that has to do with internet, really, because I will only focus on the album, and I will listen through it, and then I can review my experience. I can talk about what I felt when I listened to the album, how the quality of the tracks, and what I feel might have influenced the tracks, and so on and so forth. So I'm really excited about the new album. I've even made jokes about the name of the new album and called it like Forge of Empires because the name of Tobias Forge.
Well, Forge.
Yeah, and it's written like Forge, so like Forge of Empires. So yeah.
This is brilliant. This is fantastic. And if we can come back to you and see if you've done that ritual, even if you take a photo, then that'll be great.
Yeah, some pictures would be nice.
It's your magic moment with your album. That is the most.
But right before I start that album, I will listen to one track that is not a Ghost track, but it's used in the rituals, the Masked Ball song.
The
You know,
Masked
the
Ball song?
mystical, eerie
Yeah,
song
the
from...
mystical. Woo.
Yeah, and what I thought when I first heard Ghost and I saw the masks of the nameless ghouls and so on, I thought that, whoa, those masks look like the masks I have seen in Eyes Wide Shut. And when I saw a video of a ritual before even going to a ritual on YouTube, I heard that song before the band started. I'm like, whoa. They even show that they were clearly influenced by that movie because they do have like a satanic sex ritual in that movie going on. So
that is the most important thing. It's the satanic element. We've always got to have that satanic element just to like go, oh, yes.
Yeah, I just saw that connection. So everything about Ghost is freaking cool. It's like how I connect the dots between whatever has influenced them. They have been influenced by things I find fascinating. So I think that's why I became such a fan. Like all the old bands that have influenced them, their fascination for like old horror movies and their fascination for the occult that they find in Eyes Wide Shut, and so on and so forth. I think it's pretty amazing.
Just for my audience, I'm just going to explain, you know, for myself. This is like that time when the dots with Toulouse Doom were influenced by Conan the Barbarian. A character in Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And I connected the dots like James L so-and-so, you know, the voice of Darth Vader.
Yes.
Yeah. And he plays Toulouse Doom in that film, Conan the Barbarian. So I'm like there going, holy mackerel, I love this band, because they've connected the dots, and I like that element. And I also like Order because Mayhem and also Celtic Frost. So lots of bands have that frame and that nice building frame that they don't seem to appreciate or don't seem to understand, and always want to have an argument with you on the internet over. That's why I feel as though I can completely understand. Switch your internet off, come out of your chat groups, the albums, you know, and then and don't focus on somebody else's interpretation of that band or that song until you've listened to it yourself. And I feel that doesn't happen enough. It gives reviews, and then they don't seem to understand your own personal moment. If you want to light your candles, if you want to do your stuff, you're a fan, don't listen to anyone else. Do what you need to do, and go see your favorite bands as well. That is my top tip for everyone. If you go and see your favorite band, if you can't remember what it was that made you love that band anyway in the first place, you can always find out. Have that connection, like Magnus is trying to tell us all. You know, don't listen to everyone on Facebook, don't listen to the radio, don't listen to the reviews on IMBD or any such the likes music reviews. Just take it to a level, and that's what it's all about, being a big metal fan.
and considering I am wearing a Black Sabbath shirt, I have to share on the show the bit of connection between Black Sabbath and Ghost, because on a record that I'm really lucky to own, In Festissimam Deluxe Edition, there are like 2 bonus tracks. And after Monstrance Clock, it stops, right? So you have to fiddle around with the CD player to get the next track. And the next track is La Mantra Mori. It's a blatant rip-off of the song Dirty Women by Black Sabbath. If you listen to the start of the song, it's the same melody. They just put it in another context. They just have this simple mantra that goes over and over again, the mantra of death, Mantra Mori, as the Black Sabbath song from the album Technical Ecstasy. It's a bit more progressive. They start with that riff all the time, but then they progress to something else. It's just as progressive as a Deep Purple track. So
the other element as well, that many bands are influenced by Black Sabbath. A lot of people say, oh no, we don't want to go into the Ozzy thing. Well, this is our last chance to see Ozzy.
Yes, I'm totally going to see Ozzy. He's like one of my favorites. He's like one of the best for me. Indeed.
And we get the chance to see Ozzy as well. And I'm just going to highlight that to everyone, that we get the chance to see him in Oslo. Well, not Oslo, in general. Sorry about that.
Holden.
About that, Holden. My computer's slowing down, but yeah. The most important thing is that we discuss Tons of Rock. Because yeah, that he's going to be playing at Tons of Rock. Tons of Rock is only 5 years old.
Yes,
and this is my last advert. I
have been there in the first time in 2016 because of Black Sabbath and Ghost. That's the reason why I even knew about Tons of Rock. I'm like, Black Sabbath and Ghost, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you gotta go. Well, for me, that lineup is immense. I feel as though we're even going to see Kvelertak, like you're saying. They are one of the best bands. They are influenced by none other than Ozzy. And most of these bands are influenced by none other than Ozzy. I've heard a lot of fans talking about Equinox as well. I have to get myself together and listen to Equinox. But I love Exodus.
Check them out too, because there's a lot of fuzz about Equinox, and I haven't heard it. And by the way, the band Fuzz is actually my Tons of Rock friends who are playing. Fuzz, you see them on the list. I first met them when I started, when I came to my first Tons of Rock. I met the drummer of Fuzz. He helped me set up my tent. They're like volunteers at Tons of Rock, and they hang out. And I've seen a few of their concerts as well. But last Tons of Rock, they were going to play, but the concert got cancelled because the scene that they were supposed to play on actually was had some malfunction with that scene. So they didn't play this year. But I hope totally that they will play next year. And I recommend check them out because, well, I support them. They're my friends, and yeah, they're good at what they do, I guess. Yeah, Fuzz I am going to see, and of course all the bands on the top of the list are bands I appreciate. Of course, I don't think Alice in Chains is quite the same without Lane Staley, but that goes like for all the fans of Alice in Chains.
Yeah, all the fans of Alice in Chains say that, but he does sound good. He does sound good.
Yes, I think the element that Lane Staley brings to Alice in Chains is its pure and sheer originality, and the fact that his emotions are part of the music because he wrote the songs, and he was a very emotional man. So Lane Staley is a legend. But of course, I have checked out Alice in Chains, how they sound after Lane Staley with the new guy, William Duvall or something was his name. They're pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that because I love Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains, Ozzy Osbourne, and Halloween, and of course Kvelertak I have seen twice before, and
of course
I love them. So,
Well,
and
I wanted to. Yeah, this is what I
was
wanted
super
to show.
obsessed with Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same way I was like when I first heard Ghost. Was like nothing but Halloween was her soundtrack to her everyday life. She was in her room listening to Halloween all the time, various albums. And I was hanging out with her and checking out that music, and I'm like, yeah, they're pretty damn good. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm not sure about their lineup right now because I kind of saw that their lineup had all the vocalists. I'm like, Kai Hansen, Michael Kiske, and Andy Darius. I'm like, how is this gonna work? So we will see.
It will work. But the only reason why I'm bringing this up at the last minute is because there seems to be some conflict. And I know that by the end of the day, in the metal world, we all are helping each other out. But our posters seem to be getting torn down in Oslo for Inferno Festival and also for Tons of Rock. And we are making these videos and making it clear to other fans. Come out, do come and see these bands, go to the festivals, keep it going.
Yes.
It's about it. It's really important. Not just because we're having a discussion just solely based on Ghost, it's because we have many different influences and Ghost have actually played at Tons of Rock. So there is an opportunity at other festivals too. So we have to keep these festivals going.
I mainly focus on Tons of Rock because of my Tons of Rock friends there, and I love that. I love the whole experience of Tons of Rock. I love the area there. I love the food we get as volunteer workers. So a lot of things. And the lineups have always been strong at Tons of Rock. Like this year we saw like Slayer, Rob Zombie, Me and That Man, Candlemass. Candlemass is another. Yes, Satyricon. I just saw them recently this weekend.
Me too. So we're big, massive fans. We're one big happy family, is what I'm trying to say. And it's been an absolute pleasure for you to come on the show. I hope you do come on the show in the future, and that we get to discuss future bands, because that's really important. And thank you very, very much. Because we've gone over half an hour, but I felt that was amazing chat.
Yes.
Everything from top to bottom. And I hope that we can have a discussion later on about the new album after you've listened to it.
Of course.
And no other way, okay? And yeah. Stay happy, stay positive, and thank you very much for listening to all the listeners. Hope to hear from you soon. See you. Bye.
Bye.